we're, blasting music. We're, no one in the front captain's chairs was drinking and driving or anything, but we were all drinking in the back. So we're all faded as hell. And then you had your shirt, like, I think just the way you were laying, your shirt kind of was like over your belly button. It was almost like you had, and
it was like a heather gray shirt, was it not?
I don't know the colors, but the way I see it in my mind,
because that's really going to show.
Yeah, it was like you had it kind of like up here. You know what I mean? To where you can see like the bottom part of your belly. And so I'm looking and I was like, dude, did someone just pour water in his belly button?
Fuck.
And it was a collective, all of us clicked, like realized like, oh my God, he's pissing into his belly button right now.
Hey, Twitter world.
Don't pet the llama.
A pangender octopus who roams the cosmos in search of love.
I'm never gonna look at butt plugs the same.
Apparently, ducks are rapists.
I'm really uncomfortable with this conversation.
Till Death Podcast. Brought to you by Till Death Studios and Violent Vibe Tribe.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Till Death Podcast, and we're doing Ian interviews. We have Mr. Kerry Boykin over here, and he's gonna get into some military stuff and some band stuff, and talk about the Every Time I Die news, and got a bunch of stuff going on. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share down below, and go on all of the Rumbles, the YouTube, the whatever, and like it, rumble it, do all your do, and let's get into it. Make sure you check out violentvibetribe.com and teespring.com/stores/tilldeathpodcast for any merch from either of the companies. Thanks, guys. Hold on one second, and here we go. Kerry, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man. Violent Vibe. That sounds pretty dope. What is that?
It's a clothing company, kind of it's hard to kind of explain. Like, he started off with merch, and he does
like Killer Acid,
huh?
Kind of like Killer Acid, does like the crazy.
It's basically he started off with merch and stuff like that. He started off years ago doing I think it was like gun holsters, and then he did patches, and then like merch, and now he's just kind of trying to build it up to be like just kind of the whole tribe, like a bunch of different people coming together and doing stuff. So, but yeah, man, how you been?
I've been good, man. Just I guess I'd be lying if I said, I'm dealing with the same thing everyone else has been, but really, I don't get cabin fever. So
yeah,
I kind of just been taking this time to be as much as a recluse as I get allowed to be.
Yeah,
with the way things are. So
true, definitely
doing it that way, and just working on the music, the Neon Grove stuff, and hopefully we'll be in the studio after this next show, and I guess we'll take it from there.
Cool, man. Yeah. So Neon Grove, how long have you guys been playing? What's the kind of explain that, I guess?
Oh, well, I mean, shit. I wish I had some awesome story about how we all ran into each other at a concert, did it the old school way, but really it was just a bunch of sheer dumb luck on Craigslist and people bringing other people over, and I guess it wouldn't necessarily be band member poaching, because I feel like I kind of got poached to be in this band, but at the same time, the other two projects / bands that I was doing kind of just fell through. Well, not necessarily fell through. They're just not active enough, nor are they really pushing pushing to be. So
Yeah.
that's how it kind of panned out. I guess it was a amicable split.
Yeah. How what style of music are you going for?
With this, it's a real heavy psych. I'd like to be like the Black Sabbath version of the Velvet Underground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess if we were to use a modern band and to give a shout out to the homies, probably be like the Black Angels, but once again, a little bit more of a heavier vibe to it.
Okay, cool. So still like rock based, but a little like heavier.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool,
Like
cool.
not like just enough, toned down enough to where you wouldn't consider it metal or classic metal or anything.
Kind of like sitting in the middle a little.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice, dude. So yeah, and speaking of, actually, let everyone know kind of where to find you and what all the links and shit.
Yeah, you can basically all of our shenanigans are going to be found on Instagram, and that's just at official Neon Grove. That's our tag. So you just use that and follow, and we'll follow you back. Or we won't, depends on how cool your screen name is.
Give me 1 second. I might have figured out why this camera isn't working.
All right.
Hold on 1 second.
That might actually help because I'm staring at this cartoon cat just wagging his tail, man.
I will laugh if it's because I didn't have the app open.
Oh, is that really what it was?
Yep, because I'm a dumbass.
Noise.
Sweet. So let me see real quick.
Let's see.
If I can go over here.
Maybe.
Awesome.
Awesome.
What's up, dude?
Still need that. Like that.
Yeah. That's perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Man, for some reason, I feel like you did, at one point, you did chop off the locks, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I had the high and tight for a minute.
Didn't you? Okay, yeah. I wanted to say, I know I saw you at least one time with the short hair and was like, fuck, dude. How does one do that?
Yeah, dude.
I've never grown my hair out this long ever before, and as much as it's a pain in the ass to brush it, I would never want to cut it again.
Yeah, it was kind of one of those things where I was like, you know what? It was right after I moved back to California, and which is funny because you think California, like, oh, long hair hippies, but
right.
No, I moved back in with my mom, my stepdad, and I was like trying to get a job, and I worked in debt collections for a little bit, and then so I worked in an office setting.
Sorry.
Yeah,
right.
So, and then when I got there, I realized that everyone shows up in like half PJs, and so I was like, damn it.
Yeah, you're like, fuck.
Yeah. And then it just kind of worked out, and it was when I was in that the band with my mom and her friends. And so,
oh wow, what was that like?
It was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
See,
I'll use that as a light term. I mean, it was fun, obviously, but it was basically it was a YouTube. My stepdad was doing a YouTube reality show, like a kind of a scripted reality kind of thing, and it was called Music Man's Ladies Band, and. The first season had a guy named Steve on there who, he was cool. He had his own music shop and whatever, but he just, I don't know. There was some things about him and that kind of rubbed everyone the wrong way. And, my mom was the drummer, and it's kind of cool because they started playing all after, like, in older ages. None of them had played before, so they were all learning being.
Is this part of the show, or are you saying this is like this is them for real?
No, for real. And that was kind of what the show was centered around. Was
so your mom had never played drums before, and then she started. Wow, really?
She started at 50.
Cool. And now she drums for a band.
Well, they've since broken up, but yeah, she just picked it up because my stepdad plays drums, and he played drums since when he was younger. So there was a drum set up, and so she would like tinker around on it, and yeah, so it started when I was out in Austin, and then when I moved back and I was living at the house, they were like, well, you're already here. Why not you do it, And so, and so, and there were, he was kind of on, the other guy, Steve, was kind of on the outs, and then, and I was looking for something to do down here. So I kind of joined up, and, I've had a camera in my face since I was a kid. So I had no problem with, being on camera.
Right.
But, what's up?
Oh, I was going to say, where'd you meet your wife at? Offline?
Off Tinder.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was one of the only positive Tinder stories for a while. But yeah, and I always give her shit because I was, I think, one of her first couple of matches after she got on the apps. I'm like, you fucker.
You know what? That's perfect because, well, not, we don't have to get into all of the great Tinder stories, but there's definitely the story of Tomball, Texas. Oh, when I first got to hang out with you and meet you, that was actually I don't think it was a Tinder date, but it was definitely a dating website thing.
Yeah.
So,
online, whatever.
Tomato. Yeah. And, you want me to go ahead and just jump right into telling that story since?
Yes, please, because I remember the punchline.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess this can kind of segue into the military stuff as well. But so I got back in like permanently to Texas because at first Johnny Ibarra was still with By a Long Shot. Yeah. And I don't even know if y'all had even became a buddy band. I think it was still By a Long Shot and maybe I want to say Bonnie Blue.
That sounds about right. Maybe even Fire.
Yeah. Oh, Fire. There you go. That's who it was. Fire. Yeah. Not Bonnie Blue. Fire. Fire from the Gods when it was Jeb and fucking. Yep. And all that.
Jeb, Drew, Tony. Mercado.
Yeah, Mercado.
And was it Little Andrew or was it? Yeah, it was Andrew. Little Andy on drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, man, it's so crazy how Austin is such a small, big place. Yeah. Such a big, small place, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
Such a hodgepodge. Yeah. Oh, but anyway, so I had just got, that was kind of my link to y'all. Just had to throw that out there first. Yeah. So I had seen him. He had been doing the band, but I had went back to North Carolina, where I was initially, where I was last stationed before getting out. Yeah. And I said, finally got so tired of it after being there another couple of years and was like, fuck it. Like, I'm moving back to Texas permanently. And obviously through Facebook and shit like that, linked up with Ibarra. And this was probably around the time that I was actually receiving medical care from the VA, because the whole reason I had to leave North Carolina is because I started getting these terrible panic attacks. Yep. So I didn't want to take the pills prescribed to me and drink and possibly because I was young. I didn't want to mix it and feel like I was like going to accidentally die from something so stupid. Yeah. Have a rock star death and never even get a chance to really be a rock star. Yeah, right. So me and Ibarra linked up and then he's like, hey man, we're actually going through here, blah, 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 blah. to play in Tomball. Do you want to come with? And this and that. Like, you can finally see my new band and shit like this. Because I don't really know if Johnny actually gives me the credit for him actually pursuing music, or if maybe it was just a combination of me and like the guys that I was in a band with sort of working with him, and then him being like, yeah, I can do this, because he's got one hell of a scream and shit.
Yeah.
But so we
great front man.
So yeah. So I didn't know any of y'all except Caston and Ibarra.
Yeah.
And so y'all got me, and we get there. Oh, and y'all didn't know this at all yet either, but I had already like had one of the dating apps, and was like talking to a girl who actually lived there. And this was before I even knew I was going to be going to that show.
Yeah.
It just happened to work out that that's where she was and stuff. So I was like, yeah, blah, blah, we'll be there this time. Yeah, come out. Let's link up and whatever. So yeah, we get there, and I go up to get my first beer, and somebody tells me, it's like, dude, pay $20 for the red cup, and you drink all night out of that red cup. And I'm like, what? Like, yeah, you get this like plastic mug that's about this big, and
okay, I'm starting to remember that a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So that's the big no at first. I wanted to make sure I gave little nuggets of information in the beginning, because, like I said, I wasn't taking my meds, so this is what's going to lead to the over drinking.
Yep.
There was definitely a method to my madness. It just happened to not work out in my favor tonight or that night. So I'm pounding those things, because I'm thinking I only have in my mind, I'm thinking I only have a window to do this.
Yep.
Like I need to get rid of the anxiety. These chicks are coming. I haven't seen y'all perform, so I mean, I already have anxieties of I'm absorbing those anxieties of never seeing Johnny. I've never seen him perform, and that's my boy. And if he goes up there and it's like, oh, dude, this is trash.
Then you have to mask it and be like, okay, how am I gonna tell him?
Yeah. How am I gonna ride back to Austin and shit and tell him like, this isn't it, kid? Like we just a bunch of stuff. And this is like my first time out of the house in like at least 2 years, because there was a good 2 years where like I would sort of go out, but I had to get like completely drunk to be able to be around people and to be out in those bars.
Yeah.
So this was like my first time being with the VA, getting some help, counseling, shit like that, and then going out and sort of assessing how the world is around me. And what better way than to go to a bar that has like $20 drink all you want with a band that plays, metal. And so, then the Megan girl shows up. I won't say her last name because she probably doesn't want to remember that herself. And we're tearing it up, still drinking, because I'm like, man, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, am I gonna be left here in this town, and this girl's gonna have to drive me all the way back to where I reside in like Elgin / Bastrop area, or all of those anxieties. And once again, going back to the free mug, the free beer.
Oh yeah.
And the next thing I know is you kind of got. You, I guess, were you're one of the, no, because the girl who was with her was actually attractive. I was going to say you're the grenade hopper, but I don't want to offend anyone. But
okay.
She was actually very attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I just didn't want to say that when people out and about, fucking, well, what does that even mean? Like, come on, dude, people can be ugly. It's cool. But she was pretty, but I think you were the only like actually single.
Yep.
At the time. And so me and you were just like,
wingman.
Let's check out this band, man.
Yep.
And I think I think what really got me also was that I was pounding those beers mostly from the stool. So like when I stood up, like by the time we got to where the van was at, I think everything had started flowing and you know, reaching certain parts of the brain a little quicker. And the next thing I know is I'm going down for the count.
Yeah.
And we got there, and that's probably where I start to like have little flash memories of like looking at y'all and like kind of giggling back, but seeing how I felt like I was back in Iraq, but I also felt like I was in, this is a true story, because I'm also really stoned right now, and I don't know why I actually shoot a bunch of shrooms too.
Yeah.
So you can totally keep that on here. Good. But I wanted it to be completely transparent that I think they're hitting me right now.
Sweet.
Because yeah, right. Everything's getting brighter.
Well, I'm glad that you have a visual to see who you're talking to instead of like the screen doing weird things.
Yeah, the screen with the cat, dude. Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, fuck, bro. Like, I don't know how I'd handle that. But yeah, definitely. They yeah, that would trip me. That fucking cat. Now I got lost in the sauce. Oh, so anyways, yeah. So I was laying there in like sort of the center, I guess you could call it, the center of the van.
Yes. And
I just remember you like laughing your ass off.
Yep.
And like, I felt like I was rolling around like a pig in shit. Like, but it was actually a pig in piss. So it was a completely different.
Let me take it from here. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, take it from here.
So we're in the van and we're all driving. We usually stop at like a Whataburger or Walmart or somewhere to get some food or, you know, something on the way back to Austin. And so you had been passed out or what we thought was passed out on the floor. Like if you know, in a 15 passenger van or a larger van, there's like a shorter bench in the ones behind the front, like captain's chairs, and that's kind of where the walkway is, sure. You know, a little step. So so you were passed out right by the step, by the door. You couldn't,
which I would consider is like the middle of the van.
Yeah, exactly. Like you just couldn't make it up onto the bench. Right. So we're like, fuck it. Like if if we crash, well, he's going out the front fucking window. And your band.
I was willing to take that risk, bro.
You're like, I don't feel shit. Whatever.
Yeah, right. That probably would have came out.
So we're, you know, blasting music. We're, you know, no one in the front captain's chairs was drinking and driving or anything, but we were all drinking in the back. So we're all faded as hell. And then you had your shirt, like, I think just the way you were laying, your shirt kind of was like over your belly button. It was almost like you had
and it was like a heather gray shirt, was it not?
I don't know the colors, but the way I see it in my mind,
because that's really going to show.
Yeah, it was like you had it kind of like up here. You know what I mean? To where you can see like the bottom part of your belly. And so I'm looking and I was like, dude, did someone just pour water in his belly button?
Fuck.
And it was a collective, all of us clicked, like realized like, oh my God, he's pissing into his belly button right now. And we like, good old Patty fucking driver was like, he's pissing in the van? Oh my God. And so he fucking, luckily we were fucking 5 seconds away from parking, so he just parks. We open the sliding door and just push you out because you weren't awake. So we were like, this is gonna wake him up, and there's less piss that we'll have to clean up out of the van.
Man.
So and you're asleep, so you wake up rolling out of the van and hitting the floor, the concrete, and so You woke up and immediately started chasing all of us around, trying to hug us.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, because we were like, oh my God, you got piss all over you, bro. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? And then so you're like, well, fuck it. I'm going to play into it. And just started trying to hug us.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I love this dude already.
I'm trying to find I have a picture of the like night or the day after all of that.
Yeah.
And you can just tell like, at that specific point in time, I'm in like complete
blackout party mode.
Yeah, absolute party mode, man.
Speaking of party mode,
being comfortable with violence is a must nowadays. Whether it's in a parking lot, a store, at school, church, Kenosha, car lot, middle
1,
of the street.
2, and 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. If you're faced with
4,
violence,
5, 6.
Wow, Offspring.
Yeah.
That's the loudest concert I've ever been to, actually.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of
Alexander Ombre favorite album. Okay, go ahead.
pretty fly for a half white guy. If you're faced with violence, be calm, be confident, and be comfortable. From the mat to the field, in comfort, there is confidence. Have both with Violent Vibe Tribe. We got to figure out this little ad read a little bit. We got to work it around. But basically, you got to have that violent vibe about you. It doesn't mean be violent towards people. You just know that you always got to
Be prepared.
Be prepared. Keep on your toes.
Be like Rittenhouse.
Keep your eyes peeled. I never got that terms.
Peeled.
This is like onions.
Open.
Oh yeah, but is that peeled? It's not like you're not peeled back, I guess. I don't know. Basically, just always know your surroundings. Always know what's going on, because especially nowadays with all the stuff going on, there's shit can pop off, man, and shit can get crazy, and you could find yourself at a Travis Scott concert. Or hanging out with Alec Baldwin. But anyways, go check out violentvibetribe.com and use the promo code TD20 for 20% off your entire order. And Till Death Studios and Violent Vibe Tribe are going to be doing a sweet collab on a little sticker pack. So stay tuned on all that, and I'll definitely be finger blasting the...
I'm going with guns.
Damn it.
You're a little slow over there.
Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Yeah, but make sure you check out all that, and we're gonna be doing that sticker pack, and so check out all the social medias for all that info. And speaking of social medias, at violent_vibe_tribe. To go like and share and subscribe and follow them and diddle them, all the things. But yeah, go check them out. Again, Violent Vibe Tribe. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled.
Try to relax your anus.
Be a banana.
I'm a banana. Do you remember that video?
No.
Oh, I have so many good things to share. Yeah, so go check it out. And and Nick Wright also is the owner of the company. So, and he's been on our podcast a couple times. So go check out one of the episodes. Later.
The cabin. We had some fun times at the cabin. I don't know how much you remember of it, because it's fuzzy for me, but
I actually remember every time we were at the cabin.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never got. There was only one other time that I got super blackout drunk with you and the Set of Flame Boys, to where, I was like, fuck. And I think it was the time y'all actually invited me on stage, and I was doing. I'm trying to think here. I can't remember who y'all had played with. I want to say it was... No, it wasn't the For Today Straight from the Path show, because that's the one where...
That was Emos, yeah. Emos Outside?
Yeah, that was Emos, and I feel like that's the picture where you see me like this.
Oh yeah,
and
I
like
know
over the
something.
table,
Yeah.
and me and I think Caleb are dapping or something.
Yeah.
Is it Caleb or is it me and you? But I think it might be him.
Yeah, I think it's Caleb. Speaking of Caleb,
which is funny because if you go a couple pictures down in what used to be the album of the cabin, you go a couple pictures down, it's me and fucking Caleb facing off he's about to get fucking hit because he had yelled, he had got onto you about something or thought it would be funny to punk you. And I was like, well, okay, how about I punk you then, bro? Like,
yeah, and it was like, you're in my house.
Yeah, that was a weird moment. But like the picture was the most hilarious thing ever.
Yeah. And it was also hilarious because you were in bright yellow Dickies, which that dubbed you the name of Banana Pants, which we called you Banana Pants for a very long time.
I always wore it with that like weird heavy Lolo shirt.
Yes, so great.
It was like this blue weird neon. I wish I could find that fucking shirt again, man. It ruled so hard.
You definitely could be picked out of a crowd. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I would consider myself, at least at the time, like when metalcore was really starting to peak. I feel like I was still in the what would you call it? I was in the grindcore. Yeah. The grindcore area where they had the bright colors and the crazy psychedelics along with
Arsonist Gets All the Girls, like all that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was me. I was that guy out of the group. I think the only other person who sort of shared the same affinity was Aranda.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think he was the only one who would listen to like weird shit with me, and we'd just be like, "This is cool, right?" And like, "Yeah." And we just knew, like, man, we show this to anyone else, they'd be, like, "What the fuck is this, dude?" It's like 30 minutes of a guy banging on a trash can with a ball peen hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
Art, you fucking assholes. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Were you there the last party of the cabin when we all beat the shit out of that one kid?
Ooh, no, I don't think
his name was Justice.
I think it was one of the many times that I tried to
couldn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, not couldn't make it, but I think like towards the end there, I don't think I was around for a lot of things.
Yeah,
towards the end there,
kind of. I mean,
because when would you say y'all officially broke up?
Oh well, we broke up. It was probably 2011.
I guess I shouldn't say officially. When was the last show you think? What's that?
Maybe 2011. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, because maybe 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, because we played one more show after Johnny had been out. And we had Marty from Bonnie Blue filling in for us.
Okay.
And
yeah, I think well, when I saw you at the one bar, was Set Aflame still around, or wasn't it already over by that point?
Yeah, hold on one second.
When I saw you and Corey, when you were bar backing. Okay.
Yeah, you're good. When I was bar backing. Oh, at Barbarella, the dance club.
Yeah.
I at that point, I think I only worked there for a couple of months while Set Aflame was still going on, and then Set Aflame broke up, and I was just like, fuck it, like this is party time now, you know.
Okay, so that was towards the end then.
Yeah.
So,
well, the last party at the cabin that we had.
Remember,
was quite interesting because like, okay, so the second, because we would have Whiskey Wednesday every Wednesday, and there was this one chick, Cameron,
sketchy dudes, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah. There was this one chick, Cameron, who lived down in San Antonio. Everyone called her the catfish because she had the little piercings right up here, and you know. And anyway, so she had like she was the kind of chick that wouldn't hit me up until the day before. So like the Tuesday before, and she would hit me up on Facebook like, "Hey, are you still partying?" Blah, blah, blah. And then she would come over and we'd get drunk and like fool around, but we wouldn't hook up.
It's a respectful partier, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But it was one of those things where she would only hit me up to come party. She wouldn't like, and then she would like flirt with me and like do all that shit. But you know, like we had kind of built up this, you know, thing. So I was like, like, you know, she's, you know, kind of cute, whatever. Like, let's try something. And then every time, and then she would like make out with me and do all that. And then she would like crash in my bed, but then would be like, "Oh, I'm on my period," or "Oh, I'm tired," or "Oh, I'm too drunk," or, you know, whatever, like time after time.
Oh, bro.
Yeah. And then so one time we hooked up. And she was actually friends with Topher. Do you remember Topher? He started living there at the very end. No.
He had like he had a lighter blonde hair, didn't he?
It was like a little scene mullet kind of thing. You might be thinking of a
yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah, and then so
is
so
he the one? It was.
What's up?
Are we having a delay? Is that why every time I'm like, "Hey, blah 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 blah"?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll try to fucking.
No, you know, you're good. So anyway, so that's how he kind of moved in. He moved in because I had known Cameron and we were looking for a roommate because of all that Casey bullshit that went on. And so he moved in, and then since like she felt this sort of like, "Oh, that's my friend living there," so I kind of, you know, I'm there, you know, it's my friend living there, so you know, like I could just be here whatever I want. I'm like, nah, like
I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, this is my house. Like, so if you're gonna crash in my bed, like something's gonna happen, right? And so finally, so we finally hooked up,
right?
And then the next week when she came back, she like slept in my bed, and so, you know, putting the moves on her, trying to, you know, like it already happened, so might as well, you know, do it again. And she was like, "Oh, just because we fucked once doesn't mean that it's gonna happen again." And I was like, "All right, well, you're not my girlfriend, so you can sleep on the couch." And she didn't like that too much. So called me an asshole, did all this fucking shit. And then like, and she did sleep on the couch, you know, she didn't go home. So I basically figured it was like she was only, you know, she was only flirting with me and making out with me. Yeah. To sleep over at the house so she could get drunk and party at my house and drink for free and then not have to drive home.
Right.
So I was like, nah, I'm not going to get used like that. You know, so then the next week, and so I basically went online and was like, "Hey, like, we're having Whiskey Wednesday again, but if you're not wanted here, then just don't show up. You know who you are, and just there's no reason for you to be here if you're just going to use us for, you know, for free this, free that, and then just, you know, kind of be an asshole." And so fucking the first person that
more than one person took that, huh?
Yeah. And so the first person who fucking commented on it was Cameron. She's like, "Oh, I love you," and like, "Fuck all those people," like blah, blah. And I'm like, and I was in my asshole stage. So I was just like, I'm talking about you.
Yeah, right. So, oh man.
So it was and then it went, you know, it was like 200 fucking comments of like me and her going back and forth and everyone else fucking shitting on her and blah blah. And then I was like, "Look, you're not wanted, don't show up." And so it was kind of hilarious because she did show up with another dude.
Which is, wait a minute, I think I was there for that.
Yeah. And so she showed up with another dude. His name was Justice, already douchebag. And so she shows up, and then she tries to crash on the downstairs couch with him. And I was like, no, like, you're not gonna like come over, not fuck me, and then get mad and bring another dude to my house and then fuck him on my couch. That's not happening.
Right.
And so I kicked them out, and then that was a whole big deal for the next week. And then our last party was that next week. So came over, and the second they walked in, I told her, just letting you know, no one wants you here, and no one definitely wants this dude bro douchebag that you're bringing over here. So don't talk shit, don't start shit, and nothing will happen. You know what I mean? We're trying to have a fun time. I figured I was a dick, but I was at least still cordial. I was still like,
you're at least still allowing them to be there and hang out and shit, or whatever. Yeah.
And so Casey was there also, and she didn't like Cameron at all. So it was an interesting situation. And then so I remember I was standing on that back patio, that tiny little back patio outside the back door, and watching. And Casey and her had kind of been like talking shit to each other the whole night, or giving eyes, or like whatever. And then so I'm standing there drunk as hell up on the back patio, and I see Casey walk up to Cameron, who Casey was a good 50 pounds more than Cameron was. I will say that. For sure. And so she goes up to Cameron. She's like, bitch, no one wants you here. Why the fuck are you here? Get the fuck out of my house. And everyone's like, oh shit. And so and Cameron's like, fuck you.
Shit.
Like literally like, fuck you. And to her face. And I'm standing there like, this is hilarious. And so I'm not
this
kidding.
About to go down.
Yeah, and I'm like, ha ha ha, this is because of me. And so I'm watching this, and
that's so fucked up but funny.
I was an asshole. Like I know and admit I know I was an asshole. Right. So Casey, full on fucking linebacker, gut checks her and knocks her to the floor and is like, poof, 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 like beating her like a man. And I'm sitting there like,
bro, I do remember Casey looks like she knew how to throw hands, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember Casey.
That's a whole
I actually liked her.
Yeah.
And I was about to be pissed off at you because of her, dude. I remember that.
Yep. Because I
was like, man, she actually seems like.
But that's
she was so awesome, man. And it was like I had to hear about it all the fucking time.
Oh yeah, no, I was a dick. I'll admit that. But every story has two sides. But and it's not
true.
I probably explained my side of the story, to the best of the best that I could because I was a drunk ass.
Right. I think we kind of got to see some of her true colors, which weren't that bad, but at the same time, it was like, Casey, you need to chill the fuck out, man. Like some of the shit you're saying is just way too much.
Oh yeah, she was a nutcase, but anyways, so I see this go down, and Marshall, and the funnier thing too is, so we had those big floodlights out in the yard, remember? Like the big ass floodlights, so you could see everyone partying or whatever, because it was a big ass yard. So we had the floodlights, and then Marshall was outside pissing in the backyard, and when Casey tackled Cameron, it bumped Marshall, who was in the middle of pissing.
Oh,
so it was literally one of these, and just. He pissed all the way up Cameron's leg.
Oh no shit!
So she's getting her face pounded in. She got pissed on. Like it was not
She's getting a golden shower and getting
dude,
fucking
it was not
bro.
a good time for her. And I remember standing there
the
just
70s are alive and well.
So I was standing on the on the little porch thing, just like, oh my god, dude, this is getting a little extra. And so someone pulled Casey off.
Oh my god!
It's like, and so someone pulled Casey off of Cameron, and Cameron got up, and I swear it looked like Kill Bill 2 when Uma Thurman like comes out of the grave and she's all covered in dirt and fucking.
Oh man!
So she gets up, and then so I'm on the porch, and I'm like, all right, you got taught a lesson. You know that no one wants you here. Get the fuck out. And so then this dude, Justice, goes, hey, shut the fuck up. And I was like, oh, now I can get involved.
Like you just gave me free reign, bro.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna go scream. Like I'm not gonna go have a yelling match or like get in a fight with a girl. Like that. There's no reason. But you, sir, this is gonna be fun. And dude was tall. He was at least a head taller than me. So it's not like I was going against someone who was fucking my size. So
look, I look like a W, bro.
What the fuck? So anyway, so I go up to him and I was like, hey dude, like you need to get the fuck out. Like you already saw what happened to Cameron and you're her ride. So you need to leave. No one wants you here. This is my house. Get out. I'm going to turn around and go get my dog because Gonzo was barking his head off inside. So I was like, I'm gonna go get my dog and I'm gonna tell him to calm down. By the time I come back out, which is about 2 minutes, you need to be out of my house. And so so he didn't hit me until I turned around, and then he pushed me in the back, and so I, bitch move. So I fucking turn around, like arm ready to swing back. And as I'm swinging back, fucking Davenport comes up out of nowhere and just fucking throat grabs him and lifts him up off the ground.
Noise.
Yeah. And so I'm like, fuck yeah, Corey. But damn it, Corey, I wanted to hit him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I wanted to get one in, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And so he picks him up and he's like, all right, you going to calm down? And then puts him down. And he's like, all right, I'm seconding what he says. I don't live here, but I'm his best friend. And if you don't leave here right now, all of these people who don't like you are going to beat the shit out of you. And so and then again, dude waits until Corey turns around like a bitch and then pops him in the back of the head. And dude, when I tell you it was like ants on a crumb of fucking cake, it was nuts. Everyone piled on this dude, just fucking beating the shit of the fucking OSD.
I mean, that kind of sucks for him, but
yeah, but I mean, you had chances, and
that always sucks when you're trying to be like, well, bro, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah, but I mean, like, did I not warn you multiple times?
The second you walked into my house, I told you don't start shit.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I mean. Yeah, and I mean, back then, I hate to be the guy that's like, well, boys will be boys. But I mean, back then, I mean, yeah, the cabin, it was, I mean, it's funny that it's called the cabin because it felt like a Wild West saloon every time we had a fucking party out there.
So
I don't think.
So like, I remember we fucking like they're all piled on top of him. I didn't get a hit in. I'm still pissed off. So I'm like literally trying to stomp from the outside, trying to like stomp his foot or his leg or like something.
Yeah, right. Let me get a piece so I can at least say like I was a part of this.
Yeah, exactly. Like, cool, I stomped him. And so anyway, so he gets out of the dog pile, runs over to the side, and I had gotten Gonzo at this point, or someone let Gonzo out. So Gonzo literally darts out of the fucking house and tackles him and starts biting on him. And I was like, fuck yeah, Gonzo, like you're my dog, like fucking
your dog's like murdering someone and you're like, hell yeah, brother, get him.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, high five, bro. And so someone pulls Gonzo off of him, and then he has to walk through the house to like get out. Like that was the only way to get out. I guess the gate was locked or something. And so he walks up to where those stairs are, and you remember Nolan, fucking James Nolan.
Yeah.
He was upstairs watching it all, and so he didn't get to get in on it. And Nolan always liked to fight, so he fucking speared him off of the fucking stairs into all the trash bags that we had. Like, so yeah, dude, it was bad. And then fucking he finally like left, and then we're all like, fuck yeah. And
the rage continues.
Yes, dude. It was good. There was some fun times there. But
I just remember the only way to be initiated into fucking OSD was to shock collar. Had to put the shock collar on and scream, bro. That was initiation.
Oh yes, dude. I think I still got the video that Marshall put together of all that shit.
Yeah, I think it's still on YouTube actually.
It's like iPhone party or something. I think is what he called it. Dude, I watch it every once in a while. I'm like, dude, I miss those times. I mean, I don't miss them, but I miss them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. It's like, God, I wish I could just... I think the only thing I miss about it is like being able... Or I guess I'm not even missing it, really. I'm just reminiscing and thinking, man, if I knew what I knew now...
Yeah, dude.
And was able to party then, I wouldn't have like took it for granted.
Yeah,
because even though I cut loose, I still feel like I took it for granted just a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you look back on things and you're like, fuck, man, if I would have done something different or done this. But then at the same time, like all those things, like
led to where we're at now.
Exactly. It builds you into the person you are now, you know, for better, for worse, you know, whatever. So.
Yeah, butterfly effect and all that jazz.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey guys, we here at the Till Death Podcast realize that with everything opening up, you might need some new clothes to show off in public. It's scary, I know. But you can rest assured that we've got your back. We have high quality merch and fair prices so you can support your new favorite podcast without breaking the bank. We have a bunch of items to choose from, like this shirt, which is my personal favorite. Oh, it's upside down. See, we got this. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Or, also, this one for the ladies. For my lady, and punch myself in the balls. There we go, it's our old paint splat shirt. We also have tanks, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, yoga pants, beach towels, and even fanny packs. Like this one right here. So just head over to teespring.com/stores and use the promo code NOMOREMASK and you'll get 15% off your entire order. That's NOMOREMASK for 15% off. So what are you waiting for? Just do it!
Do it.
Go get one. They're awesome. Do it. Also, head over to solo.to/tildeathpodcast for all things Till Death and how to stay up to date with all of our content. Babe, thought laundry was your job.
Get all this merch out of my house.
See what I mean?
But with all that stuff going on, and talking about music, talking about crazy partying and stuff, I don't know how much you've heard or what's going on, but Every Time I Die broke up.
Yeah, I actually was another one of my really good friends who's still in Austin. That's kind of like, that used to be the band that that was the Kevin Bacon of bands. That's how that was like the band that united a metal fan with another metal fan, or a Southern rock fan with a metal fan, shit like that. Yeah. And anyways, he's kind of semi into politics. Yeah. Or maybe he's even full blown into them. But he usually tells me when Keith is saying some shit. Yeah. And it seemed like it seemed like it at least for the past 2 years or so, maybe even 3, 4, you could see that it had been a long time coming with Keith's stance on certain things and the other band members really just trying to be like, dude, that's not us. Yeah. We're not swinging for this other side of the other side.
But we're not even trying to get involved in that.
Yeah, we're just trying not to be involved in that. And you keep putting us in this really weird position. Yeah. I think with the pandemic and with Black Lives Matter, I think it was Keith who, what would you call it? Ostracized Norma Jean. Do you remember that?
I remember there being something going on where Norma Jean was being called out for having their questions about all this shit.
Well, okay. Well, Corey actually had put something that I can't remember what it was. I think it was a GIF, aka a GIF, of something that was actually supposed to be anti-Black Lives Matter and all that, but he was putting it up to be kind of ironic. I think. Yeah, I could actually be remembering this all wrong. I just remember Keith coming out and being like, you didn't, it was, everybody was so high tension. It was like, you didn't make that mistake on accident. It was fucking, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that called?
The context, you know what I mean? You misrepresented. You didn't do that as a joke. You were being serious. You were being malicious.
Yeah.
And I just think it's funny with shit like that, dude, because it's like, dude, you realize that it's text. How many times have you texted something and said it in your voice and someone takes it the wrong way and you're like, no, dude, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it's hard to convey text or context.
Right. I've actually called someone before, maybe even multiple people, and been like, or no, I don't even think it was a call. I think I've actually been face to face with someone and been like, bro, let me read my text to you. Yeah. Okay.
In my
show
voice.
You how, because I've also had people get into what they thought were actual arguments. Yeah. And I'm like, you're not reading my answers as me being like, nah, dude, I don't give a fuck. I'm just here to have a fun conversation. Yeah. And, yeah, dude, it's ridiculous when you show people that, because I've had a few people be like, oh, fuck, I thought it was more like this. Yeah. And so nowadays I've even became accustomed to writing out with an emoji. Yeah. FYI, this is completely sarcastic tone, but joking. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
And it's annoying that you have to do that. It's like explaining a joke makes it not funny anymore.
Yeah, it's weird how we go through these cycles. It's almost because to be completely honest with you, I feel like texting is going away now.
Yeah,
because it's like, man, I don't want to sit there and write this fucking 3-page thing about why this, and then they're like, but I really don't want you to pick up the phone, and I have to like tell you all this because I'm so afraid of what you might say, or
it's
weird.
It's like our society has gone from like, we went before texting and before all that was available, we went to having full conversations, and then we're like, okay, we'll just text and it's just short, and then now we're just like, I don't want to talk to anyone. So it's just like, it's like phones and technology, they're all great. I mean, obviously we're doing this right now. Like, this is, fucking cool. I can see your face. You know what I mean? And you don't have to look at a cat now.
Oh, I know. But this is like, if you think about it, we've taken it one step forward. Yeah. It's almost like us older dogs sort of in the middle road of what generation are we considered? Actually, we're not technically millennials, are we?
We're elder millennials. We're like the very
what do they call them? Millennials, right?
Yeah, we're elder millennials. So we're like basically the very oldest of millennials that that there is,
See, but I feel like I feel like me and you.
Yeah.
With the way we were raised, we have a little bit more of the boom, or what is it? Are they
Gen X? I think
Gen X. That is, yeah.
I think that's one before us,
right?
Basically, we're not retarded like millennials usually are.
Correct, but we know everything millennials know, but we also know what the Gen Xers knew.
Yeah. It like, I think it also becomes an issue of, I don't want to use the word privilege because privilege is such a fucking toxic word nowadays, but there's so much privilege with most millennials that they've just had everything that's instant access. They have all this stuff that's just readily available. When we came, we were the last ones to, have to, have a VCR and have this and have like a Walkman and CDs and like all this shit and like actually, like, and so I think all these millennials just think that's just the way that it's always been. Is everyone just knows everything?
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's ridiculous, dude.
Some changes.
No, dude, it just becomes kind of crazy, but yeah. Anyway, going back to the.
Yeah, I was gonna say, back on topic, man. Fucking ETID.
Yeah,
sorry.
So I was gonna go back to it. I am complete squirrel moment. That's kind of a thing of our podcast. Me and my wife, we're both squirrels like that, dude.
Fault. Right.
And so anyways, going back to the every time I die stuff. So what had happened was recently so I guess Keith started or he was going through some mental health stuff and mental issues, and then he quit drinking. So after quitting drinking, it kind of exacerbated those kind of feelings, and he just needed some time away from the band and stuff. And so he was like, hey, I'm gonna step back from the band. And it was right before they were doing the TID the season. They do their annual Christmas show in Buffalo. And so Jordan and the rest
had been kind of like stoking the fire before that, though.
Well, yeah, exactly. There were some things that were not that were definitely kind of forcing a wedge, but then they came out with their newest album, which is actually pretty damn good. And but anyway, so he basically said, hey, I'm gonna take a step back, and didn't say anything about TID the season or the show and whatever. And so Jordan and the rest of the guys said, hey, we don't want to disappoint the fans who have already paid money, and we haven't played a show TID the season for a couple of years because of the pandemic and whatever. So we're still gonna play the show, but we're gonna do it instrumentally.
Did they say that? Because I thought it was they canceled the rest of the tour, but they said Keith would be back for they were going to do the rest of the tour instrumental, and then Keith would be back for TID the season.
Well, I think what it was is that, they were going to do the rest of the tour instrumentally, and then what they were planning on is still at least doing TID the season instrumentally, unless Keith would be able to.
I thought, all right.
Yeah, so like unless Keith, had taken that time off and he was okay with coming back, then obviously they would have him. But they said since they had scheduled and booked it and done all the, paid money for it, they didn't want to deprive the fans of the show they paid for. So they said they were still going to do it if Keith came, into it. That would be great. And then Keith was, putting up, text receipts or this, or whatever of Jordan, basically saying that Jordan, his brother, which sucks also, saying that they wanted to replace him. And I don't know. It's, again, one of those text things. Like, you can read it that way, but I don't think that's what it was. I think it was kind of like a, hey man, like this sucks. Like he's going through all this shit, and he's kind of putting us in a tight spot.
How does Keith have those text receipts? I mean, not that it matters. Well, kind of does, but at the same time, it's like
you people have each other's backs. You know what I mean? So I'm sure someone was like, hey, let me send this to Keith too. Trying to fucking.
I don't know, because I mean, I feel like see, things with bands, it's such muddy territory, because it's like you want to talk to this person first, but then it's like, wait, what if you talk to that person first and then they take it, like they take the criticism or whatever you've approached them with, they take it not so well, and then they sort of approach the other two members now and try to drive a wedge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, where does self-preservation start and full transparency need to begin? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are the ulterior motives of those people that are trying to stoke the flames?
Right.
So it became interesting, and then Keith ended up doing TID the Season. And they played that show, and that ended up being their last show. And then a couple of days ago,
I can't believe they called it quits.
Yeah, they called it quits, and then basically saying, "Hey, we are not like Keith. We are breaking up as a band. So much stuff has gone on with Keith that it's like, how do you, what do you do with that? Let me see if I can pull up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you actually pull up?
Let me see real quick.
Because in all of these exchanges, who is speaking as ETID? And I mean, I would presume Keith is speaking as Keith.
Ooh, there was something that just came out an hour ago on Loudwire.
All right, what's it say?
It says there may be two sides. Oh, give me a second. There may be two sides to every story, but in the case of a band split, there could be even more than that. Every Time I Die bassist Stephen Machichi, I think that's how you say it, is the latest to reflect on the divide that occurred between singer Keith Buckley and the remainder of the group and led to their recent split. The public was first clued in to trouble within the band in early December when it was announced that Buckley had stepped away from their tour to take care of his mental health ahead of the group's planned TID the Season shows. So, kind of on there. So let me see. Okay, so Keith posted, caring for my own mental health has taken priority over everything else in my life. The love it has brought to everything I do has been clear to everyone that has seen me, and I value my progress way too much to allow a setback. I am taking a hiatus from ETID to prepare for TID the Season. So he was doing it.
Yeah, see, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. And so,
all right, so there's that.
Exactly. And then the band statements followed, quote, mental health is a real issue, and when not treated has an impact on so many people. Keith needs to take this time to rest and prepare for the holiday shows, and we wish him a quick recovery. We also understand that so many of you have been looking forward to these last few shows on our tour. We don't want to let you down, so we'll be playing these last 3 shows without a vocalist. Keith,
there we go.
Yeah, exactly. Like Keith always says, this mic is your mic. So come up and help us finish this tour. Anyone that no longer wants to attend will be given refunds at the point of purchase. Okay, so kind of like what you were saying too. They were like, hey man, like if you want to come up and try and sort of like,
yeah.
Said, but shortly after the band's statement, Buckley returned to social media to elaborate that his mental health had become a priority after allegedly overhearing his brother, Jordan, tell an outsider there had been talks to replace him. A day after the initial back and forth on social media, the band canceled the remaining shows on their tour, parentheses, as one of the other bands on the run had dropped out due to COVID. So they also issued a statement that read, "We apologize to the fans this weekend for the cancellation of the remaining 3 shows of the Radical tour." Keith Buckley is so Keith Buckley is a crucial member. I think we know all that.
Let's scroll to this. Let's see what this new stuff with the bassist player.
Okay, cool. So, basically
I do remember.
What's up?
Yeah, I know all that, and I know everything that the band said as far as like, oh well, you know.
Did you read the? Okay, so the statement that happened about them breaking up was
I read that.
Andy, Jordan, Steve, and Goose's last show with Every Time I Die was on December 11, 2021.
Yeah.
Let me see. While we had hoped to come to an agreed upon legal statement that outlined the truth, we were informed today.
I read all, yeah.
Okay, so you read all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically they were just saying it kind of it kind of didn't.
We're at a point where it's got to go with litigation. We can't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So so basically, Keith tweeted out a legal notice that the band had presented to him at the end of December. You saw that?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like basically a cease and desist.
Yeah.
So let me see. Jordan Buckley, come on to. Okay, so now Stephen Michichi has offered his say on the matter via a lengthy series of messages that can be found via his Twitter account. So the full text below. All right. Our manager retired in June. There was a seamless transition to a new manager who was formerly our day-to-day point woman. She was incredible at her job, so we were all comfortable with her, and all 5 agreed to bring her on board. Privately and behind our backs, Keith made a call to her saying he wanted Jordan out of the band. Immediately, that's crazy. Immediately, an internal rift started. We canceled a live stream event, canceled a video shoot, and the band paid for therapy for them. After only one session, Keith had convinced the band that he could continue on and keep the band rolling. After numerous talks about every band member being more open, more transparent, we were feeling good about the future. We play a COVID comeback show in Buffalo. We find out from management that Keith was trying to cancel the show even after every single safety precaution was humanly done. Man. Yeah, dude. So now all the shit's being aired. So in full transparency, we got on a group call and asked Keith about it. He immediately called our manager a liar. She started crying. He hung up the phone. Hung up. No accountability. We awkwardly sweep it under the rug and head into Furnace Fest and the Radical release. The tour started off seemingly well until we got 1 week into tour in Omaha. After the set, Jordan walked back on stage after kids were shouting for another song. While backstage, I go, "Are we doing this?" Keith replied, "That's your boy." "No, that's all our boy." Right there was when I sensed this therapy session did not work. It immediately soured the rest of the tour moving forward for us. And this is a band. These 5 guys. Everyone here are boys. Well, whatever we have a tour to do, we march on.
That sucks, dude. I don't even know if I want to hear anymore. So, like, I really thought it was going to be like Keith kind of looking not so bad. But this made him look even fucking worse, man. And I'm not saying cancel him at all. I'm just saying, like, really, there's more and more, huh?
More. I mean, if you want to hear it, I'll read it off, dude.
I mean, yeah, read it off. Fuck it. Let's hear what else he did. Yeah, I thought that was it, actually.
So we were in full support of Keith traveling separate. So he ended up traveling without the band.
Yeah, I remember him saying that. Yeah.
So we supported him in ways that I won't disclose, but he knows. He had full support of the band. There was no crazy drinking on this tour. I don't drink on tour. Goose doesn't. Andy doesn't. Jordan maybe two more for stage props. Keith was showing up to shows 10 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes before set time. And well, that's no offense, but that's kind of a singer sometimes. Sometimes singers will do that because they don't got to set shit up and whatever. I mean, I get it to a point. All right, what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another edition of Ian Interviews. on the Till Death podcast. Looks like Kerry had to head to band practice and do all that, and we had some technical difficulties right there at the very end, so we decided to maybe carry it on to another conversation in the near future. But just want to say thank you to Kerry for coming on the show and being a part of it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, follow, all the good stuff. I'm sure there's some titles down here of all the places. We got Rumble, YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey, and follow us over on Twitter, Instagram, Locals, all the places. If you like the audio version of the podcast a little bit better, then we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the places you can find the podcast spaces. Also, make sure you check out Violent Vibe Tribe, violentvibetribe.com. Use the promo code TD20 for 20% off your entire order, and at violent_vibe_tribe for the Instagrams. I think the TikTok also. And go to teespring.com/stores/tilldeathpodcast for all Till Death merch that we got going on right there. And I think we got a couple examples down here in the bottom. And thank you guys very much for your support and for tuning in. I am at Ian Till Death on Instagram and on Twitter. Make sure you go follow and share, and also check out Till Death Podcast. It's at TILDEATHPDCST or right here on Instagram and Twitter and Locals and all that good stuff. Go check us out and tell us what you think. Send us some messages, and we'll catch you next time, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Peace. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you for watching a clip of the Till Death podcast. Make sure you click the subscribe button. It's right down here.
The minute you do, he's gonna be naked.
Watch.
Pervert.
Gotcha. I mean, I'll man spread a little bit for you. Oh, but before that, while you're looking, you know what? I don't want to take your attention away. Click video. There or there. She's not going to man spread.
Or get naked.
Pervert.